Hi. Last semester, when I was teaching the class, Erica Bassard from Sibcy Cline came in and talked to the class. And this is some great information. She also shared some sheets that I'm going to post online for you so you can see questions that you should be asking a prospective broker. Erica's job is she is an executive recruiter for Sibcy Cline, and I'd love to be able to get her to give the presentation, but the way it recorded, that didn't work. So next best thing is I'm going to do her presentation so you can understand what she's doing for Sibcy Cline as their recruiter and why you'd maybe want to consider Sibcy Cline as a broker here in Cincinnati. It's one thing that you need to remember: when you're a licensed agent, you need to be interviewing brokers because you're going to be working for them. And you should interview probably at least 3 brokers to determine who is it you want to work for. And not only who is it you want to work for, but who's going to do the best job to promote you and make your job as a realtor a success. Now, the next thing to understand about all of this is that you may not choose to become a licensed real estate agent if you take these classes. A lot of this might just be an interest in real estate or having the background in real estate so that you can choose another career. Plenty options are available out there, and it's definitely something you should keep your mind open to. But one of the things I want you to understand about this whole thing is when you work as a real estate agent, you're working commission only. There are some other arrangements that you can do, but primarily it's a commission only business. It's one of the things that when I was taking these classes over 30 years ago, I thought, are you kidding? I'm not going to go to work commission only. I need to make a living. I need to know what I'm doing and know what my pay is going to be, know what my income is going to be. Many years later, I became a commercial real estate broker, and it wasn't something I chose to do. I kind of happened into it because I'd lost a job. But I was also promised some commission leads, some things to do, and I worked on an account for several years. I did the brokerage for 4 years, but again, I found out it wasn't comfortable for me. It's not the lifestyle I like, living on commission only. So I went back to the salary type arrangement that I'm more accustomed to, and I have plenty of skills and background in property management and corporate real estate, so I have opportunities to be able to do those kind of things. So real estate, selling real estate should be something you enjoy doing, and it is something that you can start doing part-time, but it's very difficult to do part-time. But keep in mind, a lot of the people that you're going to meet with that are your potential clients, they're going to expect you to be available all hours of the day. When your clients want to go look at houses, it's probably evenings and weekends. So having a regular full-time job or doing this part-time is probably a good way to start. But you need to devote a lot of time and energy to learning the business and making yourself available. So with all that in mind, I wanted to start this presentation and let you kind of see what is available, what's out there, and what should you be looking for. So this sheet I'm going to give you are questions that you should be asking the brokers that you're interviewing. Again, you're interviewing them, they're going to interview you, but you're going to be interviewing them because you want to know that you're going to have somebody that's going to help you be successful. So will you be an independent contractor or employee of the company? Some of the things we'll talk about is what is the difference? An independent contractor is typically the commission only. An employee, other roles that they do have might be as a real estate sales assistant, something that you're doing in the real estate office where you're not existing on commission only, where there is some type of salary or hourly wage. So difference between independent contractor and employee is the wages, and then also, are you stuck to a desk? Are you working from a desk? Are they telling you how you have to work, or are they just giving you guidance? Can you work full or part-time? Very good question to ask. What is it you have available, and how will you get into this business? And this person that's going to be sponsoring you, what are they going to be doing? And that's another thing. This broker is going to be sponsoring you to sit for the Ohio test. So it's very important that you understand that this person has your best interest in mind. It's going to help you be successful. What type of training does the company provide? Is there a cost? Where does this occur? Where is the training? And what is the background of the trainer? Are there ongoing training opportunities? And when you associate with one of the large brokerage houses in Cincinnati, they do have trainers. They have training programs. They have training courses that you can take for your continuing education credits and also to keep you updated. Very important that you have those things available to be able to do. You can do a lot of your coursework online, but it's nice to be able to have peers and people that you can talk to and learn from by example, and that'll lead you through this process. We have a mentor. Will they assign somebody to you to be a mentor or a coach, somebody that you can observe and watch and walk around with and go to their presentations, but also have them come to your presentations to see how you're doing with your clients. Does the company offer any benefits? Many jobs that I've had in the past I did because I needed benefits, and today with the Affordable Care Act kind of being ruled out, rolled away, it may not be easy to get benefits, and so are you working for a brokerage company that's going to help you get benefits? What type of marketing, advertising does the company have available? Do they have strong brand community presence? Are they going to help you with marketing? Are they doing routine and regular marketing other than just putting their signs up? Are they doing community events? Are they involved in the community? What are they going to be doing to help you promote yourself and promote the company name? Again, so this is where is the company involved in the community? What is the cost of being part of the brokerage? Are there fees? Are there transactional fees as well as the regular routine fees that you're going to have for Board of Realtor dues and for other things that you need to do to keep your license current? Are there opportunities for teams? What does that look like? Do you prefer to work in a team or do you want to work independently? Sometimes working in a team might be a good way to learn and share the business, and if you can't work full-time, you can work part-time, but again, as a team, you can play off each other's specialties. Where are your strong points and how can you make this successful? How will the company keep me updated about the rules or laws that change that may affect how I conduct business? Again, what's going on in the marketplace? The realtor laws do change periodically, and they need to have ways to tell you about that. What will the company do to help me market, i.e. brochures, mailings, advertising, media? Some companies you work for have money set aside for each agent to do the things they're going to need to do, putting signs up on houses, having the open houses, marketing, sending the postcards out, all the things you need to do for your marketing materials. And you will have to do some marketing. That's part of this job, is you got to promote yourself. Is the broker local or national? Do they have a national presence or just a local footprint? Is it just an office manager, or are they actually the broker of record? And those can be two different things as well. The person that interviews you might be the agent running the office. They may not be a broker. They might be close to getting a broker's license, but they may not be the broker of record, but they're a good manager, and sometimes those are the people that are running the offices. So what's the relationship? What do you need to know? Is there a relocation affiliation? Are they bringing customers in from out of the city that you have opportunities to work with and show them what you know about the neighborhood and the area? Is there a safety program in place? What are they doing to help you keep safe? This is an industry where you can get hurt. You're meeting strangers. How are you going to go about doing this? And what kind of training will they give you so you're aware of what's going on around you? How does the broker help me start my business and find leads? Again, this is your business, your book of business. How is this broker going to support you and help you get started? Are there minimum standards that I'm required to meet, such as do you have to meet certain sales quotas, sales goals, so many cold calls, different things like that, other than the real estate standards that you have to meet generally as the nature of the business that are prescribed by the state of Ohio. Do the managers go on to a new salesperson's first appointment free of charge? How accessible is management? How much time will the manager initially commit to spend with me personally? And as I become more familiar with the business, how much training are they going to give you? How much of that one-on-one time are they going to give you? And do they charge? If you're being trained, are you taking away from their business somewhere? Are they just going to let you follow along and help them out? Or is there a routine or a group of people that they're going to send you through and that you can watch and follow around? Most people, it'll take 6 months to a year to get your first sale. So you need to have people that are out there helping you learn the business. Are the managers listing or selling managers? Are they competing with you for this business? It's very important to know where they sit and how this happens in the marketplace. And finally, this last part of the list here, is there a complete list of costs that I will incur, both as a new agent and as an ongoing agent? What can I anticipate it'll cost me to get my license and keep my license? Is there an opportunity for phone or desk duty? Is there a minimum requirement? So phone and desk duty often is where you do get some leads. People are calling into the office. They want to find out about a listing. And if they don't have an agent representing them already, it's your chance to pop in there and get the listing, them as your customer. Again, you don't necessarily do only just sales listings. Sometimes you'll be doing buying listings as well. And is there a minimum requirement? Do they say you have to work a minimum of 4 to 8 hours a month? Because it's important for a brokerage office to keep their phones manned. And what is expected of me? Very broad question, but a great question. What is expected of you? How are you going to learn the business? What are they expecting you in terms of time commitment, energy commitment, money commitment, all those things that are involved in this business? Some of the typical greater Cincinnati agent expenses that you might have. On average, it's going to cost about $2,500 to get your license. There's an initial licensing fee of $135, and this is a 3-year fee. Once you get licensed, you have to pay this, quote, annual, but it's a triennial fee, and it's tied to your birthday. Errors and omissions insurance policy. If you're a broker in the state of Ohio, you have to have errors and omissions insurance. However, on the agent side, they generally get the agents to pay into the errors and omissions policy. And at Sibcy Cline, they charge people $250 annually to do that. You're buying into their group. Or do you have your own? Can you use your own errors and omissions policy that you might have for your homeowner's policy? Are you getting enough coverage? Association membership fees. $310 national, state, annual fees that are due in January every year. $25 of the state application fee is one time. And if you join the local Cincinnati area board of realtors, they also pay for your state dues and your national dues. It kind of works up. Cincinnati area board of realtors, the cost is about $125 for an agent, $169 for a broker. The Clinton County Board of Realtors is $50 for an agent, $100 for a broker. The Butler Warren Association of Realtors is $150 for an agent. I think it's the other way around, $139 an agent, $150 for a broker. And the Southern Ohio Association of Realtors, they don't charge anything for the agents, but they charge $129 for the brokers. So again, wherever your office is, what's their commitment to belonging to a local board of realtors? And generally, if they say as an office we're going to belong to the local board of realtors, every agent has to do this. Part of belonging to the local board of realtors is the MLS fee, multiple listing service. Years ago, the only way you could really do this business is through something called the MLS or the multiple listing service. Today, there's a lot of other ways to get listings and find out information about homes for sale, but we still keep this MLS system active. It's fed by the realtors. It's available for realtors to use. You have to be a licensed member to access the MLS system. And it's $209 for semi-annual dues. Again, if your broker says that everybody in their agency is going to belong to the board and do the MLS, then that's part of the fees you're going to be expected to pay. They have super electronic lock boxes, $100 each to buy one of these. If you're going to be a listing agent, you're going to need to be able to put a lockbox on a house so that you can show it. Training expenses. Sibcy Cline has a $250 training program. They call it their Steps to Success training. It's a one-time fee, but they honestly believe that if you pay something, you put a little in money financially, you'll be a little more incited to stay along with the program. Sibcy Cline also has computer and technology training and online CE community education classes. Other areas offer this as well. But again, this is part of what you're going to ask a broker is what kind of training are they going to have for you. There's 20-hour post-licensing through pre-licensing school or local boards. Cost varies. And the state requires that you do this post-licensing within the first 12 months of licensure. So this is another thing. Not only are you going to take these 3 classes at Cincinnati State to be able to sit for your license, once you get the license, you've got to complete at least 12 hours to 20 hours within the first year of your licensing to remain current, to get current, to get on board. So there's more time and commitment for that ongoing education. As a realtor in the state of Ohio, every 3 years you have to do 30 hours of continuing education. It's prescribed. 3 hours are law, 3 hours are fair housing, and 3 hours are ethics. Then there's 21 hours of open classes that you can choose from that are approved by the state of Ohio. But that 30 hours every 3 years has to be met. Every 3 years when you renew your license, you have to turn in proof of attending these classes. So there's another ongoing commitment. Another reason to think about it, do you really need to get licensed? Are you going to be an active salesperson? Or is this something you want to pursue and look at? And are there other ways to go about this business other than becoming licensed? There's personal marketing expenses. How are you going to promote yourself? It costs money to produce postcards. It costs money to have somebody do online advertising for you or hook you into some online service so that you can be doing this kind of stuff. The best realtors that I know of send me online emails constantly, once a week or so, or that I get some kind of a, hello, how are you doing? They'll send birthday cards. They remember things about your family. Because it's not just making the sale at the time you make the sale, but there's a continued connection that has to happen ongoing to keep that sales interest, to keep that person knowing who you are. That's the referral business that we're in. And a huge amount of our business is referral business. Automobile insurance for business use. Okay, so you're driving your car around. Now you got to carry automobile insurance. State of Ohio makes you have automobile insurance, but not necessarily for business use. This is a little bit of a higher level of insurance cost, but you need to do it if you're going to be using your car to drive people around. And ultimately, that's part of what this business is. The insurance that they want people to have is a minimum liability limits of $250,000 for personal property, $500,000 per occurrence in property damage, and a minimum of $50,000 for the property damage. So again, having this insurance policy in place is a financial commitment, but something you do need to do as an active agent. Sibcy Cline, again, they have this Step to Success program. It's $250, and it's new agent training. What they like to be able to tell you about the new agent training is that their graduates average 3.4 times more listing units than their non-graduates. Their grads earn 6.5 times more money than non-graduates. And their grads averaged $1.375 million more in total listing volume than non-graduates. This whole thing about how you get paid, we're going to go into that, but this the listing volume of what you're doing. This is how you make your money off commissions. So this listing volume is an important way to gauge how successful are you and how you're going to make money in this business. Sibcy has an exam cram. It's designed to focus on the key test subjects. They're 3-hour sessions to help you cram for that state of Ohio exam. Most agents have some kind of exam cram. I remember going through this years ago. But again, this is where they want your commitment. They're going to be your sponsoring broker, and they need to know that they can help you pass a test. It's a question you need to ask these brokers. Are they available to help you pass the test? What you learn at Cincinnati State, and you take our test to pass our class, things like that, these are some good examples of learning the business, but the cram exams are better ways of learning how the test is actually worded, getting comfortable with the testing and how the procedures of the testing work. So these exam crams are very important. You can buy an online exam cram. You can try to do it yourself. This works. But going through a broker and having them help you out will help substantially more. It'll make you more comfortable about the whole approach. You'll have more confidence in getting done. At Sibcy Cline, their training center, their professional development center, is on Montgomery Road near the Kenwood Mall. So again, where is training? How is training? What's happening? Another program that Sibcy Cline has is cash bonuses. By completing their new agent Steps to Success program, they'll give their agents cash bonuses. And if you earn $20,000 worth of commission within 15 months of your license date, you can get $500. If you earn $40,000 in gross commission with 18 months, you can get another $500. And if you earn $60,000 of gross commission within 24 months, you can get another $1,000. So ultimately, you get $2,000 worth of additional bonuses within 2 years of taking this Sibcy Cline Success program and then being actually successful. So again, other brokers you go talk to should have these kind of incentives to help you out as well. What's it make to take typical transaction and make a commission and make a sale in Cincinnati and in this business in general? And part of this is what we're going to talk about is you sell a $150,000 home, and it's a 7% commission. So that would be a $10,500 commission place. And when the home is listed, the listing company will get 4% or $6,000, and then they split that between the listing company and the agent, so that that agent would net $3,000. The selling company who brings the buyer in will get 3% or $4,500 of that money, and then that's split between the selling company and their agent, and then that's another $2,250. So depending upon which side of the transaction you're representing as an agent, if you're representing the selling family, you get $3,000. If you're representing the buying family, you get $2,250. If you have a transaction where you're representing both sides, which doesn't occur as often as it used to, you could ultimately get a little over $5,000. But again, keep in mind, anytime you get commissions are always split with the broker. So this is a big conversation point, is what kind of commissions can you expect? How is that split up? How do you move up that scale? In the progressive pay schedule, commission splits grows as your business grows. So if you're an agent who's normally bringing in $2 million worth of business every quarter, you're doing a lot of business, you're going to end up with a higher commission rate because the broker's going to say, you're doing a great job, we'll give you a higher commission because you're still making us money. So again, that progressive pay and commission splits is to be expected with the business. Also, what kind of business support services do they have? The staff. Who's the staff at the full-time staff that's working at the office, and how are they going to support you? Part of this is not only that, is reviewing your records, making sure that all of your paperwork is filled out properly, that the paperwork is maintained. We got to keep paperwork for a period of 6 or 7 years after the sale transaction. Who's keeping it? How are they keeping track of it? This is all part of the support services, the marketing and the things that are going on in the office. How are they helping you keep your business going? Like I said, I'm going to post some of the handouts so that you'll have them and you'll see the questions for broker form. And this is definitely something that I want you to take with you when you go interview brokers. There's also a compensation schedule, so you'll see how the split happens, and you'll see that in another lesson. The cash bonuses, Sibcy Cline's success program, steps to success, what they do. Again, all of these handouts are going to be put in with this lesson, so you'll be able to pull them up and have them for reference. And definitely worth taking a look at and comparing and taking with you when you go on your brokerage interviews. And then there's also a schedule with the Greater Cincinnati agent expenses, so you'll see what the expenses are typically at a Sibcy office. But these are expenses that you can expect at any office, and a schedule that you should take along with you, again, to see what you should anticipate that you'll be paying. With that in mind, hopefully this is going to teach you something about the things you should be doing and looking and asking for. If you've got questions.